Okay, well here we are, back at the old house. What my channel is called House on Pleasant Street. The last couple of videos have been more work related, but I'm done with work now. In my previous videos you've seen some of my progress in the kitchen. So now it's time to focus on this back wall, and that's going to be the first part I'm going to tackle. And it's going to be the pantries and bench seat. So, there's Gabby doing homework. Homeschooling herself. So smart. And there's Willow. Willow's guarding the cupboards. Hi, Willow.
She's on my jacket.
She's on a jacket.
She really likes it now.
She likes the more blankets and stuff, the better. So anyway, here are the cupboards. Every single piece of that kitchen, for the exception of the countertops, are in here. So they're in the living room, my little sunroom sitting area. They're behind the couch. I think those are the big long wide pieces that go on either side of the fridge, I think. So everything is in here. The taps, all the cupboards, the doors, the drawers, the rails to hang everything. It's just absolute craziness. If you've ever assembled IKEA furniture, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. There's 139 items in here, so it's a lot of assembling. I'm starting to see why they wanted so much damn money to put this kitchen up. They wanted almost $5,000 to put up the cupboards. So what I've decided to do is I thought I could maybe try to save myself $5,000 and try to do it myself. So I do have my work cut out for me. I've never assembled a kitchen. I've done plenty of renovation work and mechanical work and stuff like that, but I have never actually assembled a kitchen, so I'm going to try. We'll see what happens. It's a little bit overwhelming. There's a lot of cardboard here. A lot of instructions to read. But I think these long skinny pieces here, I think these may be the pantry doors. Kind of looks like they could be those. I don't even know, because everything has a code name. I'm going to dig out my plan, and I'm going to open these boxes and just see if I can start doing some assembly. It's going to be very slow going, but I do have 2 weeks off. I'm on my time off now, so I'm just going to do a little bit each day. What do you think, Willow? What are you thinking? You're not very impressed. No. How was the tuna? Tuna was good? Yes, more ear scratching. More? Okay, we might be here for a while. Okay, signing off. Okay, so I got a couple of the boxes up. These are the pantries. Quite easy to assemble. They're just basically boxes. Now the hard part is going to be to mount the rail and figure out all the spacing and hang these up. And with the spacing, of course, there's all these filler pieces that go all around. So I'm going to really have to look at the plan carefully, make sure I have the right filler pieces and that they're in the right spot, and also I got to make sure I'm at the right height. So the next box I'm going to build is the bench seat, and the plan says that's 40 inches. So most of the boxes I've dug through have been 24s, which are mostly going to be over here, 24, 24, and then the 30s above the stove, and then 30 above the fridge, which is going to be a deeper one. So I'm going to go have a look, see if I can dig up this box. Okay, so here's my, back in the living room here. I got all my boxes, and I see that these are all smaller. These are, what is that? These are 24s. It looks like 24s, 24s, 24s. 24s, 24s. And I've got one here that is, that's a 36 and 15, which would be the same width as the pantries. So 36, that must be what they mean by the 40, which would be the filler pieces. So I'm going to open this one up. It's a green bin day and cardboard, so whatever boxes I get assembled here, I'll be able to ditch this cardboard. So I'll do a few of these now. And another thing I need to figure out for the pantries is the legs. And there's Willow. Hi, Willow. Guarding the cardboard. Good job. Good job. So the legs, of course, are right here. These are these little boxes here. And I'm going to open one up just to see what... there they are right there. These are the legs that go under all the cabinets. And they only go on the front, so you can't just put these legs up and stand your cupboard up. They're meant for leveling, but the main cupboards, in fact all of them, not just the pantries, every single piece is meant to hang on a rail. The rail is right over here. Here are the rails, and they have to be cut to length. So once I get all these boxes up, I'm going to do some measuring. And these are the steel rails that have to be anchored to the wall. So I'm going to open up this box just to see what it entails. Okay, so here's the box here. It's hard to do with one hand, but let's see if I can open the side here and dump the contents out. There we go. There's the legs. So basically, yeah, you have a leg like this, and you clip this in the top, I would imagine. Excuse my filming. You clip this in the top, and you would screw this in the bottom. Screw this up to here, then add the foot, and then this then becomes adjustable. See if I can get one together here. Okay, so here's one assembled. So this will go underneath the cabinet. Obviously these pins will line up with the holes that are underneath the cabinets already. It's a good system, I guess. Well, I shouldn't say I haven't tried it yet. And I got the foot on, and then obviously you just turn this to make it taller or shorter. It says to start out at 4.5 inches, so I'm going to add the 4.5 inches to the pantry, and I'm going to figure out the rail, and I'm going to attempt to hang these today. So the legs, like I said, it's a good system, but the legs are only on the front of the cabinets. They're not around all corners, so they're just for the fronts, so they can't hold the whole things up. So I'm going to have to assemble them while the cabinets are laying down and hope my measurements are right, and then stand the whole thing up, and hopefully it'll sit on its legs, and then you can fine tune it by turning this bottom piece so it goes up and down. So right now I'm going to go and I'm going to assemble my bench seat, which is right over here. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so I'm measuring. I think I got the height figured out there. I got that marked up on the drywall. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm just working on the spacing between this wall and the window and opposite side. There's a double narrower cabinet on that side, but I'm trying to make the space even on either side of the window. I can't really make heads or tails of that plan. I have figured out the rail system. So I'm just getting ready to do that, but of course I still had this outlet which was kind of going to be getting covered up, and according to my measurements, excuse the filming, I was going to slide it over so I could have maintained that outlet here, which would have been handy. So what I was going to do is, just because this box is loose anyway, I was just going to cut this out, slide it over. But unfortunately, there is a stud. There's a stud here, and the more I look at it, and I've also noticed that it's one of these older wires, I don't know what you call them, they're copper wires, and they look good inside, but it's the old cloth wrapped. So the house has been rewired, but not every single piece was redone. I mean, this house was probably rewired a couple of times. The old knob and tube is all gone, but this stuff is pretty old too. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go downstairs and I'm just going to eliminate this entire box. Screw it. I'm going to cut that. I found the junction box downstairs. I had to remove the heating duct. I'll show that in a sec. Okay, so here is this heating duct. I had to pull this down. This heating duct here. It was tied into this, which is the flow register. But this is my junction here, and so basically, you can't even see it, but this wire in the back, this one, if I can point to it, this one, that's the one leading upstairs. So I'm just going to turn the power off. I'm going to clip the wire upstairs. I'm going to pull this whole thing out. And I'm going to eliminate that whole leg. We don't need it. And like I said, it's the older stuff. I'd rather keep this newer, the plastic white stuff there. Now, some people say the older stuff is better and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, command decision. This one's going. So there will be no outlet on the back wall. No big deal. No big deal. There's lots of outlets on the other walls. Now, of course, I had to pull the insulation down. I had to disconnect this. And it's dusty. So, it's a little bit... I was hoping to do just cabinets today, but there's always little extras you got to do. So, okay. I'm going to snip this off and eliminate that hole. Okay, just a quick update. I was able to mount the 3 boxes for the pantries. The boxes were quite easy to assemble. The hardest part was figuring out the rail system and how high to mount everything. I think I have that figured out. I've got everything mounted on the rails, and then you just clip on the feet on the bottom, and the feet are adjustable a little bit. For some reason, I'm not sure, I guess maybe it's normal, because these literally hang off this rail. There's a gap there, and I can only assume right now that this is normal. There's a small device in here where you see it almost looks like a bit of a half moon right there. You just insert a little plastic clip and twist, and then the boxes will lock in place. In the meantime, I don't know if I'll be able to move them with one hand, but the boxes are still free to slide. They can slide from side to side. So everything is movable. They're literally just hanging, and the feet give it a little bit of support on the bottom. So this is what I got done. It's about a day's worth, but it's more learning than anything else. I just got to figure out my spacing between the windows. I'm going to make that even, and then there's filler pieces that are going to go on either side. Filler strip and a filler strip, and then I still have to mount that, just like the rest, is going to go up on a rail. It's going to go up on the 2 feet. It looks to me like that trim, that bottom piece of trim on the window will have to be removed or cut down, looks like. But we'll deal with that tomorrow. And on either side is obviously going to be a filler strip also. So I get that all centered up, and yeah. So we're learning as we go. Like I said, this is pretty much the back wall. I started with this one figuring it would be the easiest. So here it is for now. Okay, signing off.